All right. So Destiny 2 stuff. I did an earlier stream. I had to interrupt and then decided that it wasn't fully realized idea there. Well, I mean, there was an idea there, but I wasn't really getting into it too much. I was talking about leaderboards, um, and in context, specifically towards Destiny 2 and the fact that it's a live service game, it's a global game, and the leaderboards are for the most part global. I do find that a lot of my early enjoyment in the game was completely independent of anything that I could achieve in the game. Mostly it was all about, leveling my character up, getting them to the right power levels, and then doing the activities like, the strikes and the crucible and eventually doing the nightfalls and the raids and being excited about, the different tools that would be dumped on us. I mean, the loot in Destiny 1 wasn't epic. It wasn't stellar. It kind of had it had the same amount of fun and ubiquity that Destiny 2 loot has. The loot in Destiny has never really been the best. Just to be my brutal opinion here, basically, is based. That's really. I mean, some people would argue differently. Um, it's like they, out of like 50 or so weapons, you would have maybe one that really stood up and out of the crowd, and then within about a month's time, Bungie would nerf the fuck out of it so bad that you would like, well, what the fuck did I spend 3 hours, you know, uh, playing an activity for this? I can't even. It doesn't even work anymore. And honestly, that was the first point of Destiny's souring for me because I did go through a time where I was just kind of fucking done with it. I didn't want to fucking participate anymore because it felt like, all the effort that I was putting in really wasn't making any difference. And then I started remembering, uh, well, and here's the funny part. It didn't click in my head until after the Forsaken, of course, where we had an event for a weapon, and none of us did anything for it. For the majority, the community did not produce the numbers that Bungie was hoping they would produce for such a thing, and we still got the weapon. This was about 4 years back or so, and I'm like, that just says that it's not about. It wasn't about ever, participating in the stakes of the game. It was about just participating and just showing up. Timmy Two Thumbs gets a participation trophy just for being there, even though he may have spent the entire game sitting on the bench. Um, and that's like, that's a feel bad moment for a lot of people. And I've never been a particular fan of, participation trophies. And yet there's a lot of games that I have played where logging in daily, basically just showing up, would earn you a particular, loyalty prize is what I would actually call it. So rather than being a prize, a loyalty prize. And I like the way that was worded. Excuse me. I like the way that was worded because, semantics. But it's also kind of like, in Raid Shadow Legends, I draw this correlation here. And I'm figuring out that I think I play Raid because it's a differential to all the other games that I play, um, video games otherwise. And because Raid doesn't have participation trophies, Raid has loyalty prizes. You have login rewards just for showing up, and then if you stay in the game for a certain amount of time, you get more rewards. And I think that's great. I mean, passively, you could just have it open for 3 hours in the background after you open it up, and you'll get you'll get login rewards for it, and it's kind of like cheesy. But on the free to play model, I think it kind of works. And I'm wondering, is that going to be a future for Destiny? And does that really matter? And I don't think it really matters. Honestly, it really doesn't because I have long since started playing the game the way used to play games back in the 70s and 80s. I played them for fun. I showed up, I played my quarters, and I would go ahead and, do my best to get on the board. And if I didn't get on the board, then oh, fucking well, there's always next weekend or whenever I can score another roll of quarters through chores and neighborhood chores like, mowing yards, raking leaves, that kind of stuff. Fall was a fantastic time to earn arcade cash. Back in the old days, when your neighbors would pay you, a buck or so to rake the yard and bag it all up and stuff. It was good times. Anyway, oh, fuck me. I get some altitude here because there's water over here. Okay, you know what? We're done with this. Just die already. All right, now we got to go to hand cannons. This is the only part about my system that kind of riles on me is I'll have to swap mid-fight to another gun. I want to get that guy in the background. You die too. Yes, 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 yes. I should be done here in a minute. There's all these shanks. So, have I cared about leaderboard? I'm aware of it. I'm not going to say that it's not something that I don't want because I do play for the win. I don't really care too much about who's on top anymore. I used to. That used to be a big drive for me. It's like I did more orbs than you. I killed more and I did more damage than you, or blah blah blah. And it's kind of fun when you see that you did more damage in a gambit match than the seven other players that were there combined. Wow. Yeah, I've been in some potato matches like that, believe it or not, where I literally fucking did actually carry the game. But I mean, that's all not really all that important. It's there for bragging rights, but I think that's all it really is. Because the loot in Destiny is not all that great. I do really like the Malfeasance. The Malfeasance is in my hands more often than not now these days. Not just because of the damage output that it can deliver, but because, it marks a moment in the game where, I played with my fire team and we worked together to make sure to see that everybody got the gear they wanted. And that was always the fun part about it. In a tabletop RPG, that's really not important. In an arcade style video game, that's not even important. In a game like Raid Shadow Legends, that doesn't even work. It's all random generated. And I don't really want that experience anymore. And Destiny, I want to know that I have a result that I can anticipate that may or may not be the best result that I wanted at the moment, but it is better than any other result that I could get from similar activities. This is why I prefer to do exotics and crafted. If you look at my list here, it's all crafted. I've even gotten rid of the two pieces that I had that were just enhanced. Like I had a blast bateau, but it was masterwork, but it was not an enhanced weapon. I had a Warden's Law. I played with it for about a week and found out it really didn't do anything better than Malfeasance in any arena that I took it into. Uh, I'm still running with the Battler. I'm still running with the Monte Carlo. I've changed up the. I want to change up the stats on the Tarnation. That's what I'm going to do today. So chasing the leaderboard versus actually getting something done in the game, there's not much left for a person like myself to complete in the game. I don't find the value in raids or grandmasters other than the fact that it's a mountain to climb, and if I want to climb a mountain in a video game, I'll go play Conan Exiles. There's some real challenging mountains out there to climb. I mean, literally in the game, modeled actual mountains that you could fall and crack your ass open on. I love a game that has that kind of stakes to it. But yeah, just kind of meandering here, wandering around a little bit of my thoughts. So I want to say thanks for stopping by and hearing me out. And just remember, just as they say, youth is wasted on the young. I think wisdom is wasted on the old. Uh, I mean, and then that's not because if you've got somebody old enough in your life that looks like they've gotten somewhere decent in their world, sit down and have a chat. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Tell me a story or things like that. And until next time, be a nice person, be a nice player, be well, and thanks for stopping by.